Have you ever wondered why your applications are launching so slowly, having crashes, bugs, issues, glitches, and so on? Why do you have that, and especially on your Linux setup? Usually on Windows and Mac OS, all of them are working flawlessly most of the time. But that's not the same case with Linux. While in theory, all the applications are supposed to work even better than macOS and Windows on Linux. The reason you ask me? Well, the thing is, each and every Linux distribution is based on different architectures or Linux kernel versions. Then the kernel versions variants, for example, like I have two laptops. One has Linux kernel 6.14 or 15, normal one. Then another one has Linux kernel 6.14 or 15 LTS1. Then another one, let's say a gaming laptop, has Linux kernel 6.14 or 15 Zen, Linux Zen kernel. Then another one has Linux CatchOS optimized kernel. You see, the overall base of the Linux distributions are so different. You have so many varieties to choose from. And not just that, the dependencies, the drivers. For example, let's say you have an NVIDIA RTX GPU. So you have the open source version of the NVIDIA GPU driver. Then you have a proprietary one. And in that proprietary one, you have normal NVIDIA. Then you have NVIDIA DKMS. And then you have customized variant of that NVIDIA driver as well. I don't know. It was maybe shipped in CatchOS and PikaOS, but still. You see, you have so much variety. While the applications are built to run on just one architecture, let's say you have Fedora. So most of the applications are going to be installed from Fedora's repository or .rpm packages. Now imagine that same package which was built for, let's say, the normal Linux laptop is now running on so many different variants. So it's obvious that things are not going to be that great. Because we're not just talking about the hardware. The software itself in each of these devices is different. It varies from one to another. This is a problem Linux has been facing for a long time. And all along, Linux already had a perfect solution in hand, but it's not widely appreciated or appropriate. I'm talking about Flatpak applications. Now, you might wonder, how can Flatpak applications or Flathub applications are supposed to be better than native packages? Well, you see, a lot of people think that Flatpak packages are just containerized applications which are working just like sort of a virtualized application, a system over another system for which it is used to run an application. But that's not properly appropriate. Flatpak applications are just normal packages, just like app images, okay? But better. You see, you have the normal standalone package of that particular application, and all the dependencies and drivers and the stuff which varies from one device to another. In Flatpaks, you get all of those packages which are perfectly built for that particular applications in a sandboxed environment. That means it already has all the dependencies, all the code drivers, except the big ones like, the GPU, the kernel. But even then, it doesn't matter much in most of the Flatpak applications what GPU driver or kernel you have, because all the dependencies are satisfied within the sandbox environment, and it does not have access to the root file system of your Linux setup. That means Flatpak applications are just the one-stop destination, the one-stop solution to all those problems of Linux and Linux distribution package varieties. And this is where today's video comes in. So you see, let's say you have Ubuntu, then you would have Ubuntu Snap Store. If you have Zorin OS, then it has its own software center of a sort maybe. Like each of the distribution provide their own software application centers or software store from where you can download softwares. But you see, the perfect way to install any software, like let's say you want to have a store which works flawlessly and has access to all the applications which you most probably ever created for Linux, which means the largest catalog of softwares. And you might wonder, where do we find that? Flatpaks, Flathub, the best place to grab softwares, whether you talk about Steam or Google Chrome or Telegram, WhatsApp. Well, WhatsApp is not officially there, but still there are variants. Whether you talk about Blender, Kdenlive, DaVinci Resolve, all the softwares are there with properly optimize dependencies and sandbox environments of their own if necessary. So it is clear, if you want to have a one-stop destination from where you can grab any application, it is Flathub. But you see, Flathub is a repository. It's a website, yes, but it is a repository, and you're going to need a store, a proper store application to download and access and use all the Flatpaks from Flathub. For that, you have two options. In my opinion, I prefer that these are the best two options. Whether you go with GNOME software, which is pretty nice, elegant, smooth, and minimal, gives you more than enough information, downloads all things without much of a problem. But you see, sometimes I feel that something's missing, like being too minimal versus being simple is different. Minimalism is about design, the look and feel and everything. While being simple is just you go search for an application, download it. But recently I've been having issues with GNOME softwares due to its free desktop dependencies or repositories. And that is why today's video I'm going to show you Bazar. Well, Bazar is an Indian word, Hindi word, which means market. That means you have a market of all the catalog of Flatpak applications from Flathub repository. And yeah, you can also add your own repository, don't worry. But it is mostly directed towards Flathub. So yep, let's see. So here we are on my laptop, which is right now Arch plus Hyperland. And in order to install Bazar, just go to the browser and search for Bazar from Flathub. I prefer that you install it from Flathub, okay? But you also have the option to go directly to the GitHub and install it. You can build it from here. But the best way is to just go to Flathub. Well, if you have AUR, then you can directly install it from Arch user repository. Just go there, copy the commands, open your terminal, paste them, and done. Installing. And that's how you will install it. Or else you have GNOME softwares and it has Flatpak applications access. Then just go here, type Bazar, and there we go. Now let's launch it and see, okay? And let me just show you why I prefer this over GNOME softwares. So here we are on the Bazar application and looks like we have an update. Let's see, what do we have? Install. And there it is. Installing begin. It is a free desktop, the NVIDIA driver. You see, this is the issue I was having on my GNOME softwares, but now looks like we are good. So I'm just going to refresh it. And yeah, it is pretty fluid and smooth, to be honest. Yeah, it is. And here we are, Bazar. From here, you can install all the applications you want. Let's see. Let me just show you. So let's say I need Discord, and this is the official Discord company, and it is the latest version. So all I need to do is install. More details, it's going to show me what is the dependency and the repository from which it will be installing, which is Flatpak. Install. And there it begins. You see the bar, how, it is downloading the animation. Well, it's not, the animation is objective and subjective, but still, you see, I could not see the download and install process on GNOME softwares. It would just start downloading and I'll see what happened after the application has been installed. Well, while it is installing, let's go back. Let me just hide it. And here you can search for all the applications. For example, we have OAD, the famous Linux game. Then, well, yeah, it has all the applications. We have Folk YouTube downloader. But leaving that, let's say I want a PS3 emulator. So we have RPCS3. Alright, looks like the download is completed. It is finished. Is it installed? That is something I'd like to see. Let's go here. Yep, it is installed. So let's see. Discord. There we go. Launch it. And here it is. Working flawlessly and directly. Well, let me just go back now. And we have others as well. Even Steam. But leaving that, let me just search for RPCS3. This is a PS3 emulator. It is open source. Don't worry. You can also get this from the official download page. No piracy. Yep. Okay, it looks like Discord is launching. Let me just shift it to the next workspace. I understand. So on Linux, you have multiple ways to download it. Let's say I go for x86. What will it download? App image. Yep, as expected. But app images have issues. They don't satisfy all the dependencies. You have to download them by yourself. Let me just go to GitHub. RPCS3. We should be able to install it directly from, Arch user repository, but the best way to do, to install it is from here. You have one-stop destination for all applications, just like I've installed Proton Plus. From here, you can install multiple Proton compatibility layers, just like, let me show you. So my favorite game, Farlight 84, this one, was broken on Linux. Then I found out that an amazing developer has developed a Proton compatibility layer which supports this. So I went there and installed it. As you can see, it has Farlight 84 support and now it is working flawlessly. I just have to go here, compatibility layer, Proton EM, done. Well, shall I launch Discord? Maybe, let's try it, okay? Let me just log in through QR code and there we go. We have our Linux server. Well, I should delete the useless ones here, but still, we have a community of around 100 members and they usually talk about the issues and stuff. You can also join it. The link is in the description or maybe, on my channel's profile. But leaving that, it works flawlessly and awesome. And I'd like to install RPCS3 in order to play, Tekken 6 maybe. Yeah, I wanted to play Tekken 6, the PS3 version. But leaving that, I have more applications which I installed from Bazar as well. For example, VLC. You see, the native VLC which I downloaded from the Arch user repository or the normal Pac-Man, they were working not so great. Like I was having issues. But now, this is just working flawlessly. Like, man, it is. It is actually working pretty nicely. I have access to all the stuff I ever gonna need. And I can also use custom skin. Using custom skin on Linux is pretty hard, but you can do it here. And I believe that explains all the things I wanted to say. Well, what do we have here? What is this? Oh, right. It's a music player. But leaving that, we have so many things here. And yeah, I recently installed Kdenlive as well. This awesome editor, Kdenlive. Let me just show you. It is working flawlessly. Like, you would not expect Kdenlive to work properly, especially from normal packages, but I was able to do a lot of stuff here. Like recently, I edited a video, recover. Well, I've deleted all the files, but still, it works awesome. You have latest or the greatest softwares from all the repositories which are stable enough and they work awesome. Okay, so we have GNOME Tweaks Alternative Tuner. From here, we can change some stuff. Well, it works only on GNOME properly, as you can see by yourself. But I prefer my high plan setup, for obvious reasons. I like it. It just works flawlessly. It is fast. It looks great. Yep, one of the first reasons a person would ever install high plan, but it is pretty lightweight. Like if I was on normal GNOME desktop, it would be using around 6 GB RAM. If I was on Windows, it would be using 8 GB or maybe more. The reason, well, I'm running OBS Studio at 60 FPS, highest quality possible with 100 Mbps of bitrate constant. You know how heavy it is. And then I have a lot of other stuff going on as well. For example, I have Discord and the web browser, Spotify, and a lot of other stuff, Steam as well running in the background. Now I can disable all of them, startup applications. But I'm wondering why should I? Like the launch speed is good and I use these softwares in day-to-day life. But whenever I need to save battery, because they do use battery, I have this. This is power mode. I can just switch to power saver and it will do what it is supposed to do. Yep, everything is just awesome. And yeah, I believe that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what do you think about it. And if you have any other suggestions for future videos, I'm open. And I hope you were able to grab information, learn some things about Linux. And if you were not, or if you felt this video is boring, let me just know. Okay, I need some bad comments in order to push myself to make better sort of videos. Okay. Yep, that's it. I'll meet you next video. Till then, I'm signing out.